her ring where it belongs?
Wait, I'm confused. You're saying this is my fault?
Here's the deal. Your grandmother was guardian of the orb, the last line of defense against Baraka. Now it's your turn. You are the fire master.
Oh, that's dramatic. I like that.
It's not a joke, man. For thousands of years, your family has selflessly guarded the world from an unimaginable evil. Now, either she didn't tell you about it or you weren't listening.
Could have been either. We had a complicated relationship.
Instead, you come into my shop. Try to sell your heritage, your birthright. $50.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Who are you that?
You are the fire master. It's time for you to claim your destiny, son. Light the candle.
I think we both know that's impossible.
Son, I stopped believing in that word a long time ago.
What if you were humanity's last hope?
Dude, I know the name told you so. See, the problem is back up to someone's brother.
You may not choose to believe it, but there are many stories of people with inexplicable gifts going back eons. The strength of Samson, the speed of Achilles,
Perfect pitch. Sick dance move.
even pyrokinesis.
Hello, 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 YouTube. Hello, hello. I gotta cut my video down. Cut my music down because I got my music in my ear. Now I'm talking early. Now next week, I will probably doing just only nights, maybe some daytimes, because my grandson, he'll be here. So, I have to give him my full attention when he here. Maybe I can probably slip a YouTube in the morning. But if I can't, y'all know I do a YouTube at night when he goes to bed because he needs, I have to keep my focus on him when he's around me. Because, kids can get into anything. When you, at least, as soon as you take your eye off, they can get into something. So when y'all come and hit the like button, I appreciate it. Tell a friend, let a friend tell a friend, let a friend tell a friend, let a friend tell a friend. Tell a friend, tell a family member. Tell someone that really needs to learn how to love themselves and be emotionally available. So we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about self-care and being emotional available. And what I mean by self-care, loving yourself, pouring back into yourself, taking your power back and pouring it back into you instead of pouring it into people that don't appreciate your love, your kindness, your understanding, your compassion, your patience, your time. Because time is like fluid. It flows. So you want to make sure that your time is about you. And then when you find somebody that enjoys your time, then it's about we. You get what I'm saying? So first of all, I changed my title to Supernova Network. So I want to help people to understand, to get into their supernova positions, meaning taking your power all the way back and do the work on your inner self. Because when you sit in abuse for a very long time, you don't have to be the abuser, but the abuser have abused you for a long period of time. You're going to end up enjoying being abused. You're going to end up enjoying getting in relationships that's very abusive. You're going to enjoy the toxic environment. You're not going to want to be around anything healthy. So just because you are allowing the abuser to abuse you, you still have to do the work on yourself. Rather, if you never abuse nobody or not, you have been abused. So on both sides, the abuser and the one that's being abused, both parties has been taken advantage of their childhood life. They probably was in families that everybody abused. You probably was used to being abused all your life. A lot of people get out of these families and they have a lot of stories to tell for what happened to them when they were in these families, because a lot of families abuse people as well. Just because we're family don't mean that family loves. Family is a soul. Family is a label of a group of people that was born into that same community, that same household, it's a connection, soul to that soul, mama's brother, mama's grandparents, mama, father, because a lot of siblings don't even have the same fathers. A lot of siblings don't even have the same mothers, but there's a connection because of the energies that came together and interact. And you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to keep it clean. They knew one another. So they brought another soul into the family. So there's another soul that is connected by a spiritual bind. So we got to understand, just because we're in families don't mean that we should be taking abuse or being, abusers, or, allowing the abuser to abuse you, or you sitting around abusing people and they're supposed to take it just because, quote unquote, they're family. No, I don't believe in that, and I will never believe in that, and can't nobody even talk to me to believe in that. We all should be respected. We all should be, looked at as a person that you're gonna respect, you're gonna interact healthy with. But when you come out of unhealthy homes, you're gonna have unhealthy ways. You're gonna have unhealthy traits. You're gonna do unhealthy things. You're gonna accept unhealthy, energy. So the first thing I want to talk about is self-love, and why self-love is so important. First of all, you have to do work on yourself, and we wasn't taught this, but now we can relearn. It's time to relearn. It's time to regain. It's time to take back. It's time to get your identity, not an identity from somebody, or you heard somebody saying this and now you want to start saying it. No, it don't work like that. It's more of actions than words. Words, you can talk all day, but what is your actions? Is you taking, proper precautions? Is you taking the correct steps? Is you actually surrounding yourself with like-minded people, or people that can power you up or uplift you as you're going through, your spiritual awakening, or, going through the change of life, rearranging, your emotions, rearranging your behaviors, rearranging your thoughts, rearranging your heart. And we all know that you got to go to God for that. But God did promote his chosen ones, us, that's on earth, helping lift the vibration on this earth. We're not here to hold your hand. We're here to show you all that you can change. You can get out of being emotionally unavailable. You can get out of rejection, the fear of rejection, because a lot of people, rejection is like the second death to souls. Like when people want to be themselves, they scared of how people see them. They scared of rejection. So a lot of people don't even try, because rejection is like a graveyard to a lot of people. Like it's like they got their tombstone already ready, because they don't know what people gonna think about them. And then on another hand, a lot of people scared to be emotionally available, because a lot of people weaponize what people that's emotionally unavailable, people weaponize and use it against them, and then that'll shut a person down instantly. People won't even want to open up, because you will use what somebody told you, or you'll throw it back up in their face to hurt them, or to tear them down, or to laugh at them. So people that is emotionally unavailable, they have this big fear of rejection. They have this big fear of what that person gonna think about me, or what these people think about me, or I'm scared to show who I truly am because somebody may hurt me. I'm scared to show people my soft spot because people may laugh at me. A lot of people seem weak when they show their vulnerable side. So a lot of people have a wall up because they've been rejected or they've been abandoned, and they still carry those traumas with them even in their adulthood. That's why their self-love is so low. And just note this one thing: you cannot change anyone. You just can't. I know you want it for them. I know you feel pity for them. I know you feel sorry for them. I know you want them to be all that they can be, but they gotta want it. They really gotta want it. I don't care if you get into any relationship, even when you have a relationship with your young children and your young children become adults. You cannot change their pathway. They gonna have to want it. I don't care if they get in a relationship with a man or a woman. You can't change that. They gotta want it. So you got to understand, when you get in relationships with a man or a woman, don't be getting in these relationships with these men and women and acting like you're their mothers, you're their fathers, like they children, or you got power over them. No, these people are very emotionally unavailable, and sometimes a lot of people are not emotionally unavailable because of abuse. They probably lost a parent, or they probably lost somebody they loved, or they probably lost a dog, they probably lost a cat. It's something that they lost. And then a lot of times their parents treated them good, and then when they lose their parents, they get their grandparents, and their grandparents start treating them bad. So now they got a loss on top of abuse. So now they're gonna be emotionally unavailable, because now they ain't gonna know how to communicate anymore. They're not going to believe in people anymore. They're not going to have a trust chart anymore. They're not going to open up emotionally anymore. They're going to be afraid of rejection. They're going to be afraid of not loving. They're going to be afraid of true love. They're going to lust. They're going to have a lust desire because they're going to want to get close to somebody. They're going to want to be seen. They're going to want to be noticed. They're going to want to fit in. So they're going to, gravitate and cling on to somebody that shows them the least love. And what I mean by least, just a little small amount of love, they'll cling on real tight, because they're yearning, they're starving, they're hungry for somebody to come around and fill that void that is there. If they lost a parent and their parent showed them love all their life, but then their parents pass away, then they get into a home with their grandparents or uncles or aunt or foster care, wherever have you, and they don't show that amount of love, they're going to feel a void. They're already feeling that void of a loss. Now they're going to feel even a greater void, because they're not getting that same attention or that same love or that same affection from another group of people. Because if your parents showed you that, I tell people this all the time, a loving parent has disappeared out of your life from a death. Your parent is not like everybody else. They might don't have the love and affection and the caring and the patience, and the understanding that your parent had. So that's going to be stripped from you. So that'll put you in an emotional bond. That's going to make you emotionally unavailable, because now you're shutting down. You're not around anyone that can lift you up, that can, motivate you, that can, give you that soothing massages spiritually that you actually need. So it's not just from abuse. A lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot, but some people have not understood abuse, but they understand a loss. And then understanding a loss, and then you get into a relationship, that loss is going to turn into abuse, because now you're running trying to find that special someone that can fill that void. But I'm here to tell you, you have to fill your own void. You have to pour back into yourself. The same love that was given to you, you give it back to yourself. That's why I got notes here. I wrote all morning. Energies matter. Energies matter big time. Turn my little thing up. Energies matter. People don't realize it. Flesh don't have energies. The energy is within you, not on the outside of you. Your energy flows from the inside out. So if you are low in self-care, you're going to attract low vibrational people, because you are a prime target, you are a main target You're an easy target because you're not protected spiritually. So you're not going to get, treated with special treatment. You're going to get misused. You're going to be mishandled. You're going to be ran over because you don't know how to truly love yourself within. And then if you do attract someone healthy, you're going to sabotage it because you're not going to be able to handle what they bring to the table, that spiritual table and emotions, And I'm not just talking about cuddling or holding hands, but I'm talking about true love. Love what you stand for. Love you for you. Love your flaws. Love your brokenness. Love you wherever you at in life. Work with you. Be your biggest cheerleader, be your biggest fan. But if you're not used to that, you're going to sabotage the relationship. Now you're going to be a runner. Now you're going to be, this is too good to be true. So you're going to think that they are after you. You're going to think that they're everybody else. You're going to think that you're going to lose them. You think that they're going to reject you. You're going to think all kinds of unhealthy things. And that's going to make you sabotage that healthy relationship because you have not did the work on yourself. That's why it's very important to do self-work on self before you try to go out here and give yourself to other people or try to interact with other people or try to fit in with other people. Because once you do enough self-work on yourself, self-care, inner care, you don't have to be noticed. You're gonna be noticed, period. People gonna notice that aura you got about you. You ain't gonna have to talk too much. You ain't gonna have to laugh too much. You ain't gonna have to be noticed too much. You're gonna automatically attract good and evil. Because the people that is evil, they want to feel that powerful aura that, us chosen ones carry throughout this earth. We're going to have people that like us. We're going to have people that hate us. We're going to have people that want to be around us. We're going to have people that want to compete against us. We're going to have people that run from us. And we're going to have people that run towards us. We attract everything because we have a lot of self-care within us. We don't have low self-esteem. We are now emotionally available. I wasn't emotionally available at first. But with the Holy Spirit within me, I went in and did the work. I put in massive work. I'm working when I'm losing people. I'm working when I'm losing materialistic things. I'm working when I was alone. I'm working when I didn't have food. I'm working when I didn't have finances. I'm still working on myself in the midst of all of those trials and tribulations and those heartbreaks and those emotional detachments, and from people walking out my life, for people just being around me to give them, and I can't give myself. Sorry, I knew that was gonna happen. Give me a minute. I forgot I got the long ones. Give me a second, because y'all know I move my hands when I talk, honey. So when you're dealing like that, you got to understand, when you love yourself enough, no matter what you lose, no matter who walk out, no matter who won't stand with you, no matter who is going to be beside you, you're going to still love yourself unconditionally. Now, you got a lot of shapeshifters around. And shapeshifters are people that pay attention to you. See, a lot of people know how to be what you want them to be, to get close to you. A lot of people observes other people just so they can be that person so they can get through life. That's a shapeshifter. That's a person that don't know their true identity. Your identity is not a home. Your identity is not a car. Your identity is not the latest, devices, the latest promotions. Your identity is not your career. Your identity is not that marriage with the white picket fence with 2 dogs running around the yard. No, that is not your identity. Your identity is not having kids. That's not your identity. That is a fairy tale. That's a fantasy. That's a low vibrational thought that, you know, you think that that person that you're going to be with, or that person that you have involved yourself with, or that person that you've been with for periods of time, that's just a fantasy, a false identity that is not real. It's an illusion. And then when it don't go your way, now that illusion get ready to be a delusion. So now you got to make up a story or a false self to believe that it's gonna happen. Just give it time. So you're having patience on delusions. You're having patience on illusions. Where you need to flip your patience at is on a reality, on logic, you know, on spiritual things. See, a lot of people, y'all running for y'all life, and you're putting all this time into vain things, but you're not trying to put your time into reality, truth. I need to work on myself. I'm wounded. I need to cut this person off for right now. I need to cut that person off. You cannot heal by keep running, talking, getting on the phone, having, you know, immature conversations. If you don't worry about the next person. The next person got to worry about themselves. You have to worry about yourself. You cannot worry about what the next person got going on or what the next person think. You can't continuously making other people happy when overall you're unhappy. How are you out here making other people happy when you're not happy? You got to be content in self-love. It's not selfish of loving yourself. You have to love yourself so you can be selfless, and you have a boundary doing it. You have a standard doing it. You have morals doing it. You have integrity doing it. You have dignity. These are value gifts. These gifts are value. They got a lot of value in it. Materialistic things don't have value in it. This is earthly value. A car is an earthly value. A house is an earthly value. Clothes are earthly value. You know, hats, shirts, jewelry, homes, you know, marriages. All of this stuff is earthly value because y'all are looking at it on an outward appearance. But when you look at it in an inward appearance, a lot of people are emotionally unavailable because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of what you think about them. They're not truly there yet. You have to actually treat somebody that's emotionally unavailable like a child. You got to be very patient, understanding, and caring with those type of people, because one wrong word can shut them down easily. Yeah, it seemed like you're walking on eggshells with them, but you got to, because they're walking on eggshells every day. So when they're like that, if you're not ready to put that type of time in and that type of availability in with a person that's emotionally unavailable, you'll never get anywhere. You'll be always back to square one, because they are very fragile people. I know, because I used to be one. I was never emotionally available. I had to grow into that. Couldn't nobody make me grow into that. I was fine being emotionally unavailable. I was fine with not holding hands. I was fine with not cuddling. I was fine with not crying and, you know, hugging. If I did hug you, it was in a flirtatious way. I want something from your body. That's how I was. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all different, because it wasn't different. But now that I did the work and I allowed the Holy Spirit to come in and teach me, now I understand it. And me and my daughter, my spiritual daughter, we was talking, and she asked me what was my love language. And I had to think about it. Wait a minute, what is my love language? And I had to think about what I like to do, or what attracts me. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm thinking, and in my mind, when I be asked questions and I don't have an immediate answer, I know there's something I suppressed and forgot about it. Because, you know, you can suppress things so far it'll become dimension. You'll be in dimension where you can't remember. And that's something I suppressed so long because I didn't have to really actually show a love language because of my personality was so high. You know, I can speak words that people want to hear, or I can spark up a conversation that people love to talk about. So I never had to think about any love language. But my love language was, and I kept thinking, and we riding, and I'm thinking like, what is my love language? In my eyes, you know, when I put up my eyes like that, I'm all up in my head now. I'm like, what is my love language? And then it hit me, because it happened to me last week before last. I was in the store, and I love men that smell good. Not just loving men, but if I'm attracted to a man, if he smell good and he got on a certain cologne, that'll draw me to him. I'm attracted to him, not just sexually, but I want to, you know, be up on him and sniff all on his neck, sniff his face. You know, that draws me, that attracts me. Somebody that I'm attracted to, and they smell good and they smell fresh, and you know, they got this certain cologne on that I like. That's my love language. You will get me to cuddle. You will get me to want to hold your hands. You will get me wanting to cling to you. But that only comes when we're in a healthy state, spiritual state. I'm not gonna want to sniff you if you did me wrong. You don't shut me down. See, I'm very fragile to certain things. Like if you reject me, I'm not mad with you. I'm not gonna shut down. I'm gonna shut you down because I know that you're not it. You rejected me. Hello, you rejected me. Hit the like button when you come in. You rejected me. So you're going to make me shut down. And I shut down because you rejected what I'm bringing to you. I'm not going to shut down from the world. I'm not going to shut down from other people. Thank you, sunshine. I'm not going to shut down from other people, but I'm going to shut down from you because you're not bringing in healthy energy. That don't mean that I'm gonna be mad with you or I'm gonna be upset with you. It's just that me and you are not meant. We're not meant for one another because you're still emotionally detached. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, you know, be evil, or I'm not gonna weaponize your behavior because you can't perform the way I'm looking for you to perform. You're not my connection. And see, a lot of people got to understand that, you know, when it comes to self-love and why it's important, and it's important to teach your children self-love. So when they grow up and they grow older, they disciplined. They'll know what their worth is within. I'm talking about the within worth. They'll know what their worth is. They'll know what to attract, and they'll know what not to attract. They'll already have these traits already built inside of them. So when they go wrong, they're not going to stay in the wrong long. They're gonna detach and move forward, but not move forward, you know, with a strong movement, not move forward with a weak movement. And a lot of people got to understand that. That's why it's important. Good morning, sunshine. That's why it's important that you teach your children. That's why it's important when you have children in your homes. If you deciding to want a family, you got to make sure, and this is for all of us. It's for all of us, not just one set of people, not just two set of people, but any woman, any man that want a family. When you decide you want a family, make sure you are emotionally available, because children needs a lot of emotions poured into them, not weak emotions, not emotions that you think is, you know, healthy, but the true healthy emotions. You got to bring in the true self-care, not in your delusional self-care, but you got to bring in the true self-care. And that's why it's a lot of pain in the earth today, because a lot of parents got with somebody on the outward appearance, not the inward appearance. They got with them on the outward appearance, and then when things go wrong, Now they arguing, they fussing, they're fighting, they're vindictive, they're battling with each other, they're calling people up on the phone, they're involving family, they're involving friends, they're involving strangers out here on the streets, they're involving everybody because their self-love is low. It's not high. It's not high at all. Because when your self-love is high, you don't need validation, you don't need no opinions, you don't need no conversations from anybody. You know you're gonna go into your isolation and you're gonna do the work on what hurted you. See, I'm a different type of species. If somebody hurt me, I'll go away. I'll go away. I'll go away for a good 3 months. 3 months can power me back up. And when I come back out, that person that hurt me can't hurt me again. They can try. They can think just because I'm still sweet to them, I'm still speaking to them, I'm still motivating them on, I'm still uplifting them, I'm still smiling at them, I'm still caring, I'm still loving. It's not because I'm weak or I'm going to always be weak for them. I done powered up so they can't phase me no more with their unhealthy ways, because I know that they have to do some work on themselves. That's why I say when we get in relationships with people, first of all, I want to see if you're a friend. I'm not going to jump right into lovers. I'm not going to jump over friendship to lover. I'm going to jump from first friendships. Because I want to see if your friendship is genuine. A friend, a true loyal friend is not going to be behind your back talking about you. A loyal friend is not going to see you down if you're loyal back. If you're a friend and your friend ain't loyal, then somebody got to detach. I'm talking about two loyal friends that is on the same vibration. See emotions as value. See when they're down or they on their rock bottom as I'm here for you. I would never turn my back on you. If I don't have the finances, I still can talk to you. I can still, give you my healthy opinion. Now, I'm not going to get involved, but I give you my healthy opinion, or I hear you out. Because that's what sometimes you have to do, is hear them out. Because some people just want to be heard, want to, just vent. That's what therapy is for. Go vent. Go get your therapist, somebody you don't know, somebody that, don't know about your life, but you just want to vent. Go get you, and that's what I look at therapy for, a strange friend, somebody you don't know. Because when you vent to people that you do know, they're immediately going to either feel comfortable or entitled to say what they want to say, or they're going to get angry at the partner you with, or they're going to get angry at a family member, or they're going to hold it inside because they're going through the same identical thing. And then before you know it, one day they're going to lash out. They're not going to stay there. They're not going to hold it in the road, because now you're putting that unhealthy energy on them. And if they're unhealthy like you're unhealthy, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an unhealthy explosion sooner or later. Because if you continuously carry unhealthy energy everywhere you go, and you surround yourself with unhealthy friends, families, co-workers, anything of that nature, your environment is going to always remain unhealthy. You're going to always have unhealthy thoughts. You're going to move unhealthy. You're going to attract unhealthy. And if you attract healthy, sooner or later you're going to sabotage that connection, because you don't want to be healthy. You want to be unhealthy. And a lot of people that go into these unhealthy relationships, you're thinking that you can make it healthy. You can't. You only can make yourself healthy. That's where people got to understand individuality at. You can only fix you. You can't fix somebody else. If somebody got mommy issues, that's between them and their mother. If they got daddy issues, that's between them and their daddy. If they got family issues, that's between them and their family. If they don't want to fix it, that's not your job to step in like you Mrs. Fix it, or you Mr. Fix it. You're not. You're only Mrs. Fix It for self, Mr. Fix It for self. And if you got children, let's fix it. There's no such thing as I'm trying to catch up. I can't catch up. That's impossible. But I can fix it where we at. Do you want to fix it or not? If you say no, then I'm going on with my life. Don't come back around and try to fix it. Because you put too much time, you let too much time go by to want to fix it now. Because now I'm going to feel like now you feel like I done waited on you. Now, if I wait on you 6-7 months, you're going to feel like, oh, she waited on me 6-7 months. If I do this again, guess what? She'll wait on me again. No, I won't. That's me. I'm just saying for me. If I give you a go and I give you a chance and you sabotage it, that's your problem, not my problem. You just let me know that we wasn't, equally yoked. The connection wasn't meant to be. So I'm not mad. Anybody I ever had connections with, like my brother, he sabotaged my car. He tried to sabotage my name. He tried to turn the city against me, the hometown against me. He talked about me. He did all kinds of things. But guess what? I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I'm disappointed in him, but I'm not mad at him. But now that I spiritually see, I'm not even disappointed in him. I pray for him because it lets me know that he's still in an unhealthy state. He's very fragile. He's very rebellious. He's very egotistic. He's very arrogant. He done built a huge ego. So his ego is sabotaging his connections with anybody, including himself. So you can sabotage your connection with yourself. You can. Believe it or not, words have power. If you speak, like I have, he's still my friend regardless. It don't matter. He taught me some stuff. He taught me some things. He taught me how to be a life coach. He taught me how to talk in 3 minutes. He taught me some stuff. But he had a problem that he self-sabotages himself. And I used to tell him that. I was like, why do you talk about yourself like that? Why you say things like that? Why you say you got mood disorder? Why you say you got MPD? Why do you say those things? Now you're allowing what people diagnose you with conquer you. Now you're taking everybody else's opinions and you're taking validation from everybody else. So just because your therapist said you got a mood disorder or you got MPD, these are fleshly labels that people do to get paid. You get what I'm saying? They're getting paid for this. So when humans on a carnal side of things, the outward appearance of things, the behaviors, they don't see it spiritually. They see it in a fleshly way. They feel entitled. They feel like they got empowerment to tell you who you are. That's still stripping you from your identity. They don't really know it spiritually, because through Christ's stripes you are healed. And every one of us got to heal. Just like you see therapists and they be like, well, when you get to the point to say, I'm sorry, if that therapist is dealing with a master manipulator, that master manipulator is sitting in that therapist's room mastering their weaknesses as well, because they have weaknesses too. So if that therapist say you need to start saying you're sorry, of course, a master manipulator gonna say they sorry, but you got to understand, are they genuinely sorry? See, it got to come from a genuine place. It's easy to say I'm sorry. It's easy to say I never do it again. It's easy to ask for forgiveness, but your behaviors will show, are you truly sorry? Because when you're truly sorry, you'll work on what you're sorry about. Just as well as they say narcs, but we all are sinners. We all are toxic in some manner. But when they say people that continuously hurt people over and over and over and over again, you know why they can do it? Because your self-care is low. Your spiritual self-love for yourself is low. So they can come in and they can misuse you, they can cheat on you, they can verbally abuse you. Sometimes they physically abuse you, financially abuse you. They bully you, they intimidate you, they stagnate you. And then you have to work harder for the both. Somebody gonna get burned out, and it ain't the abuser, it's the one that's taking the abuse. So now you ain't got nowhere to run to, you don't know who to run to, so you're gonna run back to the other enemy, your family, because that's where it started from. It didn't start in a relationship, it started in that family ship. Yes, they are dead inside. They are. They are. And if he told you that, he's crying out. He's crying out. And that's something that I wrote down today. How if you still love them. Because a lot of people still love, that don't mean that they're bad people. It's been a lot of bad things done to them, and they don't know how to be healthy. They have to go within. You can't force them. But if he told you he was dead inside, it's because somebody stripped his emotions. Somebody hurted him extremely, where now he just walking around because Satan got control of him now. But how to fix that? If you love them, don't try to change them. But if you love him, because people that is empathic, they have soft hearts. You know, you care about somebody else's well-being before you care about yours. You pray for them. Don't try to change them. Pray for them. And another thing you do for them, it's difficult for them to speak. So I know you don't want to treat them as a child. I know a lot of people don't want to feel like they're in a relationship, because I got my own kids. You know, you have to have patience with, severely abused people. And that's something that I came out of myself. I was severely abused. So I always had this defense mechanism of, like, I'm always on guard. I'm always on standby. I'm always up for whatever, But that comes with being in toxic relationships, family ships, being done so bad by, people that we call quote unquote family. So when I got on the outside world, I was attracting people as myself, crazy, wild, cheaters, liars, alcoholics, people that like alcohol, people like a good fuss, or people like a good fight, people like, unhealthy things. I was attracting unhealthy people because I was unhealthy. So I was dead inside because my spiritual self wasn't up. My spiritual self was down, but my physical self was up. So I was doing a lot of self-care on my outward self, but my inward self, I had no clue about it. I didn't know nothing about prayer. I didn't know nothing about fasting. I didn't know nothing about reading the Word of God. I didn't even know nothing about God. I just only knew what people talked about God. Oh, my God is great. My God is awesome. Christ this, Christ that. I never knew about the spiritual stuff. I just hear people talk about it. I didn't know that these demonic behaviors had labels and titles to them in this physical realm. But in the spiritual realm, in the almighty eyesight, is because the heart has been beaten. That's why the Almighty is close to the brokenhearted, because he know there is a set of evil people out here to abuse, good-hearted people. That don't mean just because you're good-hearted, you're not gonna take on no traits of evilness, because we all were born into sin, shaped into iniquity. But it's just some people much weaker. I mean, like much weaker, in a position where the one that's weaker as well, the toxic narcissists, as y'all call them. I don't say narcissists, but I try to say it because a lot of people know that title. But the one that's unhealthy, I mean, on their lower, they're lower than you. But the reason why you feel lower than them, because you're so used to powering down and giving somebody else power. So you coming off your pedestal and you putting them up here. So that makes them delusionally think that they're better than you and you're lesser than them, because you're taking what they bringing to the table, which is bad fruit. So you telling them, I'm gonna eat this bad fruit because I love you. You're returning back to your vomit. because you love them. That's not how you love them. You be firm with them in a beautiful, gentle way. You don't have to yell. You don't have to scream. Even if they're yelling and screaming from the top of their lungs, just look at them. Let them get it off their chest, because actually that's a release from them. They're releasing pressure that they done suppressed for years after years after years after years, trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. When they start arguing, when they start saying cruel things, that's when you need to be powering up. So when they come in with this cruel stuff, you only got positive things to say, because they don't understand positivity. But if they stay around long enough and they see that they can't shake you by their cruel ways, they either gonna go in and do the work, or they gonna run. And if they run, let them run. It ain't no need chasing them. What are you chasing them for? They wanna run. They gotta run. It's too hot. It's too challenging. So when they feel dead inside, you pray to the Almighty that they can become alive, and work with them if you love them. If you want to be with them and you don't see you want to detach, because it's hard to detach from somebody you care, or somebody you have, sorrow for, or it's their situation was so sad. But what a lot of people got to understand, you can't fix it. No matter how much you want to try, no matter how much you want the best for them, they got to do just as well as you do. They got to go within themselves and fix themselves. If they run, pray for them running. Pray for they run right into themselves, because they're actually not running away from you. They're running away from their self. It's very painful for some people to really actually do the work on themselves, because first of all, they don't know how. They don't even know where to start. They don't even know how to begin. But how they begin, how you help them begin, is you draw back and let them do it. Let them come to a decision. Don't decide for them. Let them decide. If they're indecisive, lead them indecisive. It's not your job to build their emotions. They have to work themselves into their own emotions, because what they got inside of them is very traumatizing. They suppressed it for so long. I know I was one. I suppressed my emotions. My grandson was tying his shoes this morning, and I was like, wow, how did I learn how to tie my shoes? I didn't even know. Like, who taught me how to tie my shoes? I couldn't even tell y'all that. So a lot of things that I missed out in my childhood, I suppressed it so long, I forgot about it. I suppressed it so long, I don't even remember half of the things I went through as a child. It's some things I can remember, but they're not painful anymore. One time they were very painful, so I didn't think. I was like I daydreamed a lot. I was like, I'm in space. I'm just sitting there out of this world, out of mind, out of sight. But my body was still here. Thank you, sunshine. Blessings to you. Out of mind, out of sight. Thank you. So I'm gonna give you some tips with your I wrote all this down, so it's amazing that you said that. He's still dealing with past traumas. I did too. So I'm speaking from these notes right here that I write. These are notes that came from me, what I went through as a child. I used to be very toxic. I was very emotionally detached. So I know what it takes. So I'm going to tell you this. Don't ever weaponize. Even if he try to tell you your mama don't love you, your daddy don't care for you, your family this, your family that. He's speaking of a place of hurt. He's speaking of a place where he got a big old hole at. So he's projecting. He's projecting because he wants somebody else to feel like him. He wants you to actually suffer with him because he's suffering. So don't weaponize anything he say. Don't even try to throw it back in his face, because he'll instantly shut down and he'll go very cold. This is, and I'm speaking about myself. This is how Satan can still drive them. This is how Satan can still drive them through this world and do whatever he want to do with them, to go out here and hurt other people. But the Almighty put that person in your life for you to learn a lesson. And as you learn that lesson, you can give them some blessings. And blessings is love. It's tough. It's 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 it messes with your patience. It messes with your nerves. It messes with your nervous system. It messes with your mental. But this is a person that the Almighty assigned to you, so you can help them. People don't realize when people come in your life, they are assigned to you for a reason. Lessons and blessings, because you get two major things out of it. When I was toxic and I was going into people's lives, it was a lesson and a blessing for the both of us. It wasn't just me being a victim, I was a villain as well because I was emotionally unavailable. But don't weaponize. Don't come up against them. Don't make them feel, less than, because he's already there. He's already feeling less than. If he do open up to you, listen. Just listen to him. Just listen to him. Don't even comment. Don't even, if he tell you something that you never went through, but he did go through, don't frown your face up. Don't act like I'm being honest. Don't act like, none of that. Just be very caring on your face, whatever. Because you don't want your loved one to always have to run to therapy. You want your loved one to be able to run to you, be able to trust you. And you tell them, let's make a safe space for our emotional room. Get an emotional room. Create a safe space for the both of you for y'all emotions. So when you create this safe space, that door is always going to be open. So whenever they're ready to come in and talk, they're going to come in like a child. They're going to have to feel their way in. They're going to have to feel safe with you. They're going to have to gain your trust, even though you probably be like, man, I'm tired of them. I told them they can trust me. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not. And I'm telling you from a place I used to be in. It's not that easy to open up to people, because they observe the whole entire room. They observe your family. They observe your conversations on the phone. They observe how you move. They observe your body language. They always on a radar because Satan still is holding on. So if you make them feel safe, if they tell you little by little, this is where you really have to keep whatever they tell you in a chest box, pondered in your heart. Nobody else don't need to know. I don't care if they piss you off. I don't care if they done said some horrible things to you. If you keep whatever they tell you in lock and key in your heart, nobody else don't need to know what they out here telling you. You gonna help them. You're not changing them. You're helping them release what's inside of them that they suppress, and they got to get it out, because now that top on all of them trauma bonds, all them abusive events they went through in life, that top on top inside of them is about to pop. Why you think people are sitting in jail for unliving people? Why you think people out here beating blood from people? These people got so much pain inside that the top is about to pop. So any little event, any little ununderstanding that they get, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna pop. They're gonna pop. People are not just angry just to be angry. People are not just verbally abusive just to be verbally abusive. People are not just out here bullying people just to bully people. These people is manifesting evil doing by vulnerability when they were weak. So now they got vulnerability when they were weak. Now their vulnerability when they were weak and they had to endure abuse, now it's turning into anger. Anger is turning into an ego. Ego is turning into an arrogance. Arrogance is turning into pride. And pride is turning into I'm going out here and I'm going to destroy everything in sight. Because now Satan got a very strong hold over their lives. And when you come across these type of people, treat them with care, just like a package. If it's a fragile, be very careful, keep it upright, treat them with care. I used to go and talk to men in jail. My son that's in prison, he would get guys on the phone and they want to talk to me. These people want love too, you all. I don't care how much people say, oh, the narcissist this, and honey, I will leave them and I'll let them go. I'll let her go. She'll cheat or whatever. When you do let them go easily. Don't go, let them go. I'm tired of you. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm done with you. That's why your mama did this to you. That's why your daddy did this to you. That's why your family don't love you. Don't fight fire with fire. I don't care what people say. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Because see, they're sitting on a mountain of temper. You're sitting on a mountain of comfort. They're not comfortable. You're comfortable. They'll never be comfortable until they can really find. That's why people be like, oh, the narc is a serial cheater, or the narc is a serial liar, or the narc. They looking for somebody to fill the void that's inside of them. And if they came out of a place where I came out of, they got many voids. They got many openings in their heart. They got many holes in their heart. Because the ones that they thought in their mind, that they manifested, that was programmed into them. My mother loved me, but my mother dirtied me. She did me dirty. My father, he did me dirty. My siblings, they did me dirty. My grandparents, they did me dirty. Then you watching your family war at each other. You're in the midst of all of these things that's unhealthy. You will not come out healthy. It's impossible. And if you meet somebody that attracts you, and then they got traits that you don't like, don't wait no more years and years and years down the road to come out, because now they're attached to you because you allow them to get away with so much. They don't feel like I have to clean it up because she or he allowed me to get away with so much. Who you supposed to be now? Now the anger is about to come out of them because, see, you showed them that you'll take abuse over and over again. You never put challenges under their feet. So they got comfortable being abusive because they had to sit in a situation being comfortable being abusive. So it's like they getting their lick back, not because you or you, because they see their abuser, which somebody that's supposed to love them, in you. So now they're just hitting you. It's not they hitting you because they want to hit you. They're hitting you because you're allowing them to hit you. So that's another thing. Move out slowly. Always have a strategy. Don't talk about them. Don't try to shoot them down. Don't try to make them feel less than. They already feel not worthy. I didn't feel worthy, of myself at one point in time, being molested by uncles, being abused, being verbally abused, being financially starved, didn't have clothes, didn't have nobody to support me. And this is real stuff that I came out of. But when God came in my life in 2019 and I got the Holy Spirit and I went through that rebirth, which was horrible, but I went through it. I had no choice. And when I found out I was a chosen one, I was like, oh man, all my life I wanted to help people. I wanted to uplift people. I wanted to, show people you can get through it. But when you're dealing with a high, low value person within, and what I mean by high, low value, their delusions is high, but inside they're very low. But inside of their mental, they think they high. I got a car. I got the best promotion ever. I'm making 6 figures. Everybody love me. But in reality, they know how to perform a certain situation, or they know how to perform certain behaviors to make people love them. The public eye is their best go-to. But privately, they don't know how to perform because the people inside the home, they already conquered you. So they don't have to put on a show. The show is always going to be for you. They ain't got to show you anything now. That's where you have to become strong. When they're away, that's when you start working on yourself. I don't care if they weigh 8 hours. I don't care if they weigh 4 hours. I don't even care if they're in the house. Leave your phone out there where they can trust you. Go into a little room or whatever. Go in your bedroom and start meditating. Start doing laundry. Start praying. Start reading the word. If y'all ever seen Color Purple, you see how silly when she found out that Mr. was hiding them letters from her sister Nettie, and silly start reading them letters, going to the park, doing laundry, cooking. You know, them letters was down and she was powering up as she doing her chores through the house for Mr. This is real stuff. That's how you have to power up. Every little second, every little minute, every little hour you get, if your unhealthy loved one is gone for days, you got a lot of powering up to do. Cut back talking. Cut back engaging with family. Take back everything. You got to pour into yourself. Meditation helps powering. You got to start pouring back into yourself. And when the person come around, you know, you're a little more stronger. You're a little more stronger. And every time you get more stronger and you get more stronger, then you will understand the mission. But if you remain weak, I can't do it, I'm tired, I don't feel like it anymore, I feel like giving up, I just don't want to do anything. And Satan conquering the both of you. He's got two people under his stronghold. Somebody got to come up. If the other one can't come up, you got to come up. You can't do get back because they master get back. I'm being honest. Unhealthy people masters get back. They know how to be very vindictive. They know how to be very ghostful. They know how to be very verbal. They know how to be very physical. They know how to master your mind because you're not showing them nothing different. They know how to master comfortability. When they comfortable with you and you ain't switched up the pattern, you ain't switched up the cycle, you ain't switched nothing up, you're easy prey for them. And I'm being honest, you're very easy prey. But when you start saying, no, I don't want to do that today, you're going to shock them. Because you never give them the word no before. No is like the electric chair to a toxic person. Now they finna go ahead and show you their true colors. But if they putting their hands on you, 911. I don't care if the mama get mad. I don't care if the daddy get mad. I don't care who get mad. You protect yourself at all costs from getting hit on. Period. That's a no-no. If they destroy your property, 911. Don't hesitate. Don't be looking for validation. Don't be running to nobody for opinions. 911. And you call, if they do it late at night, make sure you have some cameras on to protect yourself, period, from everything in this world. Because it don't matter about the titles with these people. Just because you're calling 911 don't mean that they're going to be on your side when they come out. So you always have a camera rolling. Always keep receipts. No matter what, you have to protect yourselves. Protection is big, especially for women. You have to protect yourselves because women are, even the men are getting aimed to be whoremongers, you know, leave their homes, you know, deadbeat dads. Satan, all it takes is a woman that don't have enough self-worth to come and snatch that type of man up and put him down. The one, Jezebelic women are here to bind strong men. So once our men get powerless, that gives Satan a chance to go through a lot of gullible women, tear the world up. Stop listening to these podcasts until you get strong enough. The Word of God got everything in it. And if you ain't used to reading it, start little by little. Start little by little. I had to work through all of this. And another thing with your toxic partner or your toxic dad or mom, it don't matter. Whoever's around you that's emotionally unavailable, they have a hard time expressing and sharing and processing their emotions. They don't know how. They don't know how. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all see me talking all of this, it's a miracle. I would never even talk emotions, love. I used to never even said I love you. I love you. I used to say, is there such a thing? Because I was hurt so much in life. I never thought that love was such a thing, but I didn't know that love came from God, not man. Only God can give you that gift within. I didn't know that, God has such power. I heard of it, but the way people were moving that say they loved the God, they moved just like I was moving, like a sinner. And I'm like, something ain't right. So I always was a deep thinker, a deep diver. But now that I'm spiritual, I understand it all now. Their insecurities come from childhood traumas, not just abuse, but loss. Loss feels like abuse. Like, why my mama leave me? Why my daddy leave me? If they would have never died, I would never be around these people. Sometimes you do shift blame on losing people. Why you had to die? Why you leave me like this? You start developing a loss as trauma. People don't talk about this, but it's real. When somebody leave you that you love so much, now you get angry because why? Why you leave me? I'm just a child. I don't know what to do from here. I don't know where to go. Now I'm around people that don't even have your emotions, your love, your understanding, your patience. Now you're developing anger. Satan gets in. Satan puts you around people that, tear you apart. You're not used to it. Now you got to stay in these situations that you're not used to until you start adapting to it. And once you adapt to it, now you become comfortable with it. Now you're brainwashed. You're mentally messed up. And some people can't come back from it. You hear conversations, they sound very childlike. It's because that person is broken in a certain age. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. My thing went down. I listen to music as I talk, y'all. It's a big thing for me. I love music. Music helps me, my vibration. There you go. And then it start being, traumatizing to them. So trauma can come in many forms. It's just not like us, people like us that came out of, very abusive homes, physically, ghosted, solid treatment, verbally abused, sexually abused, financially abused, mentally abused, all of that brings mental problems on. And you got a lot of people say, well, I got a disorder, or I got mood swings. It's only because they still holding on to, their trauma inside. So, if they sitting there and they up here today and y'all up here, they up here about 4 hours, and then another hour come, then they down and they angry. It's because they won't release. They won't release. They're comfortable with being moody now. They don't want to truly not be moody. So it's part of them. And they feel like that's their forever way, but it's not. You can release that. You can bring in that trauma out and confront it. If you can't confront it around people that you're comfortable with, if you don't know God yet, talk to him still. But find a therapist, a strange person, you can just let it out. Be honest with your therapist. I ain't there yet. You're not going to push me to be there. And I ain't getting no diagnosis. This is something that I have to deal with. And once you learn how to deal with it personally, individually, you know how to go into your safe space, because you need to create a safe room for yourself as well. Every one of us have to. Then you can, you know, power yourself up little by little. You know, it's not nothing you can rush into. Because when you have to release trauma, release childhood traumas, you know, loss from of loved ones that loved at you and now they're no longer here, it's baby steps. It takes baby steps. This is not a Russian relay or we in a marathon. We're not there. We're not running for nothing like that, you know, fast. You have to, you know, comfort yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to, you know, journal. I journal a lot. My notes is all over the place, but I journal a lot. And this is something you do for yourself, not, oh girl, what you still crying for? Like my daughter, December the 17th was a year for her. And I could feel the tradition of men. You know, a lot of people say, well, the first year gonna be the bad year, the first this, the first that, but it wasn't. It wasn't like people said, because I'm not living in my flesh. I'm living in my spirit. Now, and I had moments where I do break out and cry and miss her, but I emotionally can turn it off, because I don't want those type of unhealthy emotions linger on for a long period of time, because then it's going to start over conquering me, and then I'm going to put myself into a zone that is not a healthy outlook for myself or for people I'm around. So I work hard at my emotions, which I'm at a great place with them. I am so proud of working with me. I'm always proud and having big honor and praises to Almighty, period, and His Son for, you know, laying it down for us. And I appreciate and, you know, got big ups for the Holy Spirit that teaches me how to help me with myself. So I came a long ways, you all, a long ways. Like the old me, I look back now and be like, this how I do to myself. Like just looking back like, ugh, you was that female, you know, always feeling like I need to have a nasty vocabulary, cussing, like, yeah, what, you know how you get in conversation with people and you start cursing and calling all kinds of names that like that makes you tough, but spiritually you're still not tough. You're still wounded, because it don't take a negative vocabulary to make you strong. That's not, words don't make you strong. The only time words make you strong is when you are trying to cut off the unstrong words. Like, you know, boasting and brag, and people boast and brag, make them feel like they tough and strong. They're not strong. That's all they know, how to feel strong. But if you snatch all of these materialistic things away from them, you snatch the people that keeps them afloat away from them, you snatch their bank accounts, you snatch, you know, the audience, you snatch all of that from them, they would probably croak over and disappear, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to keep it clean, because they can't handle being alone, because being alone torments them. Now they're going to have no, when they hear what they need to hear, then guess what? You're their source of life to keep them going, to keep them motivated. And they motivate and keep going off of abuse that they're doing to you. The abuse that they afflicting on you keeps them powered up. But if you stand up and say, I'm not being abused no more, I love you, I didn't hurt you, and I'm not going to allow you to hurt me. And this is where we're going at with this. If they get high in voice, or, you know, they get angry, let them go. Let them get angry, as long as they don't put their hands on you. If they touch on you, 911. If they start destroying stuff, 911. Let that be your speed dial number, especially when you're dealing with people with anger issues and tempers and, you know, mood swings, because they can pop off anytime, because they done sat down too long and dwelled on old past tense traumas. And Satan said, yeah, I can use you today. I want you to act up today. Go think about what your mama did to you. So these are the works of the devil. And if they give in, because the devil is addiction. He's a drug. He's a serious shot of dopamine for corruption. So when you kick in, oh man, my mom left me. Then you look at who you with, you're going to leave me too. Then Satan's starting to talk to you. Now Satan's starting to mess with you. Now Satan got you and you give into it. There it is. They're about to pop off. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then they got to run to addiction. See, it's feeding the flesh. It's not feeding the spirit. It's keeping the spirit dead. It's feeding the flesh so the flesh can be alive, because Satan can use you outwardly. But Satan can't do nothing but die down what's inside of you inwardly, because what's inside of you is God. Satan can only have you moving crazy on the outward appearance of you. And God just allowing it because God, like, is you going to step up and tell Satan no? Or are you going to step down and tell Satan yay? This is just how it really is. And a lot of people don't take the time out. I would have never known it if the Holy Spirit didn't teach me these things. I would have never known it. I would have never been on these platforms talking about it. I wouldn't even know how to even explain this to you all. But being as though the Holy Spirit put me in the wilderness and put me in places where nobody could touch me, nobody could be there for me. I had to go through perseverance. I had to suffer all of this. I didn't talk to nobody. I couldn't call nobody. The family was against me. Everybody was against me. It seemed like everybody was trying to kick me while I was down even more, but they didn't know my rank in the spiritual realm. They thought, well, she just like everybody else, because I look human. I mean, I am human. I have an earthly vessel, but they don't know how strong I am within, because I just don't go out there and show that side of me. I'm just like everybody else, happy-go-lucky. When I come in, I'm very kind. When I come in, I'm very loving, compassionate, understanding. That's who I am. So I'm not going to show y'all something that I'm not. But a lot of people are not used to that, because it's so many people out here with personas. So you don't know what you're going to get. So us chosen, we are in disguise in this earth, because people judge the book by its cover a little too much. And then you'll see them and regret, man, I should have kept her. Even down to my family, I know they're saying it. Man, we turned on the wrong one. But they couldn't help from turning on me, because Satan is their God. God is the only power source to keep them living. But they don't acknowledge God Almighty in heaven. They acknowledge the God, the Prince of the air on earth. So they follow him, which they're living off of the Almighty's life source, but Satan is using their energy for his energy to do his dirty work. So y'all got to look at it like that. And I give it my best shot tonight. They come back up here. If I don't, then y'all know that I did. And thank you for the gift. I really appreciate that. Paris. I don't have my glasses on, but I think I said it. Paris, I like that name. Yes, Paris. That's a love. But I think I covered everything. If I didn't, I'll get back to it one way or another. But I appreciate y'all. I love you all. Until next time, we'll do it again. If I don't come up here tonight, it depends on if I move to do it. And if you got young children, love your kids. Love them unconditionally. Learn them how to be disciplined. Take up time with them just as well as you would take up time with a man. You know, if that man wants you to do something, you would jump out there real quick to do it for him. Do it for your children. And just as well as you discipline your children, what they can't do and what they can do, that's the same way you need to do for that man or woman that's in your life that is out of control, because they are undisciplined, broken children that needs to be disciplined. So if they're coming into a disciplined environment, they either gonna get shaped into being disciplined or they're gonna run, but don't chase. Don't chase them. There's no need chasing them. And don't be angry with them, because right now they do not know what they're doing. They're only doing what they've been doing before they even came into your life. This has been part of them. This is not something new. They've been doing it. Or if they wasn't doing it and they start transforming these unhealthy behaviors while they with you, that's when you know you need to go into prayer. You need to ask the Almighty. Don't dress up the red flags. Strip those red flags. And if you're powerful enough, you can turn those red flags into white flags. But you got to be patient if you're going to keep them. But if you're not going to keep them, And I recommend not to keep anyone that's abusive. If it's anyone in your life putting their hands on you, you got to let them go. I don't care. Let them go. Because they can unalive you. And if you got children, you don't want your children to see this. And you don't want that to manifest in your children, because energies do move. That's the devil inside of that negative energy inside of the house that will sooner or later be manifested in your children. And when they get older, they're going to start doing it, because kids go by programming, spiritual programming. So if you curse a lot, 9 times out of 10 your kid gonna curse. If you lie a lot, 9 times out of 10 your kid's gonna lie. If you fight a lot, 9 times out of 10 your kid is gonna fight. Okay? So I love you. Just be very cautious. It take baby steps to change. It take baby steps to turn, your life around. Not their life around, not turning the next person's life around, but turning your life around. And believe me, once you start turning yourself around spiritually, not laws of attraction, but we need spiritual attraction. It's inside of you that got to be activated. And if it's activated inside, don't hold your talents back. Give other people some of that love, that affection, show them that you're trustworthy. It's just like when people are broken, it's like you got to have the biggest patience in the world for them, because they don't trust y'all. And I know that from experience, because I didn't trust people either. Now I can discern, I can trust, because I know now either you're going to come in correct or you're going to come in incorrect. So if you come in incorrect, I'm going to just cut you off beautifully. I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to just move out beautifully. I'm not going to go toe-to-toe with you, because what we doing? Then I'm no better than them. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to be the bigger person. It might hurt. It might you might need an ego death too, because I sure needed an ego death. I didn't even know, excuse me, y'all, somebody called. I didn't even know I had such a huge ego. I had some demons on me now. Some real bad demons. I'm serious, y'all. I had some real bad demons. I'm laughing about it now because I'm like, girl, I was demonic. I was very demonic. Like, seriously, you would not believe it, but I was very demonic. But I love you all, and you all have a great Thursday. And guess what? I'm here. I ain't going nowhere unless the Almighty take me. If the Almighty take me, just know I'm going bye-bye, y'all. Hey, it was a pleasure. But if I'm still here, I will put up in my community the my one-on-one number. So if you want to talk to me personally, you don't want to spread your business up here, because I wouldn't do it either. Nah. I mean, especially when you're not in a state of being strong of criticism or people, trying to come at you. I recommend some things you need to keep to yourself anyways. And the Almighty need to be the only one that know that, because, if you're not ready for people to tear you down, because that's what people will do, take the information and use it towards you. Don't do it. But I'm going to do one-on-ones if you want to. I'll put it in my community. I got to get the number. I couldn't put it in my description. I don't know my number. And then I'm going to start my members only lives, where it just be members only, so we can talk some real raw and truth conversations. So that's going to be available as well in my community. So until then, you all, I love you all. Be blessed. And y'all all have a great Thursday. Just know, learn how to overlook evil and conquer evil with good. Okay? Don't let evil conquer you. You conquer evil, because Satan is been defeated. Okay? So stay in good cheers. I love you all. And y'all all be blessed. See ya.